Keir Starmer is facing yet another political firestorm, and this one could have serious consequences for his government. Questions are being raised over a key ministerial appointment, with accusations of a rushed vetting process and troubling connections to a major legal battle. As scrutiny intensifies, concerns over transparency and accountability are beginning to mount. Is this the next major crisis for Starmer's Labour Party? Stay tuned as we break down the full story. As always, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we have new Labour t-shirts available on our website. You can check the link in the description or go to britishstand.com. Labour is facing backlash over claims that it rushed the vetting process for its new investment minister, Poppy Gustafsson, despite her ties to one of the most complex fraud cases in UK and US legal history. A key watchdog group, the House of Lords Appointment Commission, HOLAC, was reportedly given less than 48 hours to review Gustafsson's background before she was confirmed in her ministerial role last October, according to Politico. Gustafsson, a former tech executive, was a senior employee and protege of billionaire Mike Lynch, the entrepreneur at the center of a decade-long legal battle with Hewlett-Packard, HP, and US authorities, including the FBI. Lynch was found liable for financial fraud in the UK in 2022, but was later cleared of multiple fraud charges by a US court. His legal saga ended in tragedy last year when he died in a yachting accident off the coast of Sicily, just 2 months after his acquittal. While there is no suggestion that Gustafsson was involved in any wrongdoing, her name appeared dozens of times in court proceedings as a witness. Critics argue that the Labour government's decision to push through her appointment with minimal scrutiny raises serious concerns about transparency and due diligence. Richard Holden, the Conservative Shadow Paymaster General, strongly condemned the process, stating, "Appointing ministers and granting individuals a lifelong position in our legislature is a serious matter. This is not a process for Sir Keir Starmer to play fast and loose with, especially when appointing someone who was involved in one of the biggest and most complex fraud cases in legal history that straddled the Atlantic." The controversy has reignited broader concerns over Labour's ministerial appointments and vetting standards, with critics questioning whether political expediency is being prioritised over proper oversight. A government spokesperson defended the appointment, insisting, "All processes were followed for the appointment of the investment minister, and the list of ministers' interests will be published as part of this." Despite this assurance, the speed of Gustafsson's vetting has left many wondering whether Labour is cutting corners when it comes to ensuring accountability in high-level government appointments. In other news, a very dangerous asylum seeker who sexually assaulted a teenager cannot be jailed as it could breach his human rights due to the torture he experienced in Syria, a court has heard. Hassan Abu Haile, 39, was found guilty in November of sexually assaulting a 19-year-old woman in Dorset. His sentencing at Bournemouth Crown Court was adjourned on Monday after his defense barrister argued imprisonment could violate his rights under Article 3 of the European Convention of Human Rights. The Syrian immigrant's lawyer said Haile, who required an Arabic interpreter in court, suffers from PTSD after being tortured in a jail under the Assad regime. CCTV footage showed Haile driving around Weymouth Town Centre at 3:25 a.m. on December 18, 2022, looking for vulnerable women to target. He spotted the victim sitting alone on the pavement after leaving a nightclub while waiting for her father to collect her. After helping her up from the ground, he placed his hands down her trousers and inside her underwear before trying to get her into his car. The victim refused and shouted for help to 3 passing members of the public, telling them Haile had touched her. Defense barrister Graham Gilbert told Judge Robert Pawson, "The doctor's report only came in on Saturday and it expressed concerns about Haile's PTSD. He has several symptoms of PTSD, which would be made worse by a custodial sentence. It would also be made worse without the support of his wife and friend," Gilbert said. Judge Pawson responded, "A lot of prisoners' mental health gets worse during a custodial sentence. However, we are going to take the utmost care and caution due to Mr. Haile's PTSD, due to his time suffering torture in a Syrian prison under the Assad regime. Placing him in prison would provide echoes of that experience." Article 3 of the European Convention of Human Rights prohibits torture, inhumane treatment, and degrading punishment. The judge must now interpret UK criminal law in a way that is compatible with the Human Rights Act 1998. Haile of Wentworth Close, Weymouth, was released on conditional bail until his next appearance in April. The Syrian arrived in the UK in 2020 and had been living in Weymouth, Dorset. When questioned by police, Haley claimed it was a misunderstanding, saying he had only tried to help the victim by pulling up her exposed trousers after she hugged him. At a previous hearing following his conviction, Judge Pawson told Haley, "You were driving around in the early hours on a Sunday morning hoping that you would find exactly what you did find, a young and vulnerable drunk woman who you wanted to get into your car so that you could sexually abuse her." The judge had also stated, "On the evidence before me, you are potentially a very dangerous man. I shudder to think what might have happened." The case has drawn criticism from former politicians, with some arguing that victims' rights should take precedence over offenders' human rights considerations. In other news, a pub landlord has furiously hit out at the Labour government, revealing exclusively to British Stand they have prompted him to remove a Union Jack flag from his establishment. Guy Richardson, who runs the Bright Star in Luton, Bedfordshire, said that he is not proud to be British anymore, adding that despite being incredibly patriotic, he has turned his back on traditional displays. The landlord explained to the media, "The one thing that nobody could deny is that I am a huge patriot for this country. However, for the first time in 40-odd years, I have removed my flag from the post outside. I've got the Union flag, I've also got the St. George's Cross, and I used to fly them proudly. Now I am just not proud enough of our country. I'm proud of what we've done, proud of our history. I'm proud of our heritage, but I'm not proud of the situation that we are currently in." Speaking from his public house, Richardson claimed the industry has been victimized with operating costs, making his job increasingly difficult. "The whole cost of doing business, the whole aspect of legislation, it's just so much. It's almost become unattainable," Richardson explained. The publican revealed he can no longer afford to employ staff, forcing him to run the establishment single-handedly from morning until night. Richardson emphasized the vital role pubs play in society, stating they should be the community center of a village, a town, the city. The landlord said the local pub is vital for communal values and people's mental health, before lamenting that the institution has been destroyed. In his message to Keir Starmer's government, Richardson said, "Open your eyes, have a look around the countryside, be it inner cities, be it open countryside, and just see the benefit of a pub. What it does for community, communal values, what it does for people's mental health. A pub should be the community centre of a village, a town, the city, and at the minute that has been destroyed." A government spokesperson told the news, "Thriving pubs are often at the heart of our communities, and we're taking action to support them by introducing a permanent new lower business rate from 2026. More than half of all UK employers will either see a cut or no change in their national insurance bills next year, and we're doing more to support our high streets by tackling antisocial behaviour and empty properties." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.